All right, y'all, what's going on this morning? Hopefully everything is good. I'm just gonna go out and just say it outright. And I don't think this is a negative thing, but I think this is something that needs to happen. Kyle Pitts, I think the Atlanta Falcons need to go out and trade him. Not because of his bad play, not because of his lackadaisical play. I think he's a phenomenal player. But I just think that at the end of the day, it may be a long-term successful decision if we move on from him. Get 2 picks from him, maybe a second and a fifth, or maybe, a third and a fourth. You can get 2 picks for him, and those picks possibly could turn out to something that's more valuable to the team. I just think at the end of the day, you should, because I don't think that the Falcons are going to re-sign him for a bigger contract. I don't think that he's going to get one. And I know everybody's going to talk about his rookie season. He had over 1,000 yards. He had poor quarterback play, or whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, we also have to understand that we can't pay everybody. And to be honest, I will be willing to pay Drake London before I would try to pay, Kyle Pitts. I would try to pay Bijan Robinson, even though that's going to, that's coming up really shortly. I'd rather pay him than to pay a big money to Kyle Pitts. To be honest, and I know this may not even be on the table, but I actually would rather re-sign Tyler Algier before I re-sign Kyle Pitts. And this, like I said, it's not because of his, necessarily his play or his athleticism. It's just the fact that I just don't think the value was there to re-sign him long term. So I think I know there was people saying that it's time to trade him. There was talks about it, and I'm kind of on that bandwagon. I think it's just go at a time to, just go ahead and trade him and find some assets that you could get for him. Maybe you could trade for another player, or maybe you could trade for a couple of picks. I think he is warranted for at least 2 picks, maybe a second and a fifth, a third or a fourth, hell, even a third or a sixth. And I think based on what we saw in this draft with our later picks, I think we can still get something very valuable out of those picks over, just keeping Kyle Pitts, and he's possibly going to walk after the end of what I think is this season. This is his 5th-year option, I think. Or something like that. I just don't think he's worth to be re-signed at a premium price, because that's what he's going to go for. He's going to go for a premium price. A lot of teams in the country, well, not in the country, but in the league, think he's high value in that sense. So a big upside to him, so you can get something for him and don't have to worry about re-signing him. So let me know what y'all think. I don't think it's a knock on Kyle Pitts. I do think he has some shortcomings, but I don't think that he should be re-signed. But that's